what I'd do without you. God only knows what I'd do with. God only knows what I'd do without you. Beach Boys, love the Beach Boys. I grew up harmonizing, learning my harmony from the Beach Boys. Hi, Jackie. Nice to see you, or see your name anyway. Elaine, hi, you're always here. It's great. Hi, everyone. Here we go. Tammy. Hi, folks. So we're going to talk about our breasts. Hi, Kathy. Hi from Ohio, Jackie. Kathy, Rachel Ann, hi. Who else did I miss? Anyone here? Rachel Ann. Cinda, pretty name, very pretty. Massachusetts. Catherine from Australia. Down under, Catherine, beautiful. I was just interviewed by someone in Australia just last night. I'm part of a summit on anxiety. Good subject. Jennifer, hi from Dallas. Chad, well, nice to see a man from Estero, Florida. Estero, Florida. From Toronto. Hi. Excuse me. Very nice. Love Toronto. Newbury, Ohio. That's Francine. Donna, I don't know where you're from. Gettysburg, one of our great places in the country. Rona, Holy Cross Farm, hi. Jane, Arnett, nice to see the same names again and again. It's wonderful to see you all. So we're going to talk about don't even think of getting near me because they're so tender, they're so painful. So first we're going to talk about the medicine, and then we'll talk about how that fits with painful breasts. So I'm going to use my Materia Medica. For those of you who don't know, maybe you're new, and this is my Materia Medica, but you can read it from any Materia Medica. Mine just happens to be a more, I believe, quite simplified, makes it easier for many people, but it shouldn't be your only one. If you're really taking homeopathy seriously, you do want to own more than one Materia Medica, and I talk about that from time to time on my blogs and etc. and in my courses. And you can also get, and I've also mentioned this for free, you can read Dr. James Tyler Kent's Materia Medica online. So if you just use your browser and look up Dr. James Tyler Kent, Materia Medica, and you will find his writings. Very interesting stuff. Love Materia Medicas. I could just really, that's what I read. Often I just sit at night and read my Materia Medica, read on a particular case that I'm not so certain about, that I need to work on, read the couple of remedies that keep showing up in the case that seem to be most efficacious. And then I study those medicines. Now I pretty much know my Materia Medica inside out. It was required that I learn it. We had to memorize, now I've forgotten, I want to say about 300 of them in order to pass the CCH exam. And it was a feat, but it was fun. I mean, it was great learning. It was wonderful stuff. For your practical purposes, not being a practitioner, you need to know, just learn 20. You don't have to memorize them, but just have a nice feel for them. Belladonna's for heat and fevers and extreme pain and quick onset, that kind of thing. Very red, swollen. Arnica montana's for soft tissue and head injuries, and they feel as though they don't want you to bother them. They say they're fine. It's great for vascular issues. It's great for pain in general, even vaginal pain, by the way. And then there's, Hypericum, great medicine for pain in general, for nerve pain, not pain in general, I shouldn't say that. Nerve pain, shooting pain, pain from dental work, crushed fingers, the toes, those kind of, those areas where the nerve-rich aspects of the body, so it's fingers, toes, nose, the jaw, in the mouth. So it's good to know those. So tonight we're going to talk about bryonia, B-R-Y-O-N-I-A, bryonia. Second word is elba. Bryonia elba. Great medicine. It is a medicine that is specific for, and as I read it from my Materia Medica, I say it's worse for movement. So it could be for a headache in which you just move the eyes the tiniest bit. It hurts so much. Or if you break a bone and you just just a tiny bit of a move and the tibia, oh my gosh, the pain is so excruciating. Or it could be even a muscle group that's, oh my God, after an injury, it's so painful with the tiniest movement. So it is worse from movement. Now, it's not all movements. It's not all movements. Some movements are worse at first and then get better as they limber up. Anybody know what medicine that is? The person gets better. They're worse when they first, let me scroll down so I can catch your answers. Worse when they first get moving, like they get out of bed and oh, ow, ooh, they get up, they start walking, they get a little limbered up, they stretch, they move things along, they get a little limbered, and the pain starts to abate. It's a different kind of pain from movement. That is pain from movement, yet comfort from limbering up. Anybody have an idea what that medicine is? While you're doing that, I'll keep talking. So it's interesting that the breasts are so related to this medicine, this bryonia elba, because breasts move, particularly if someone has large a bra. Well, it's one of the whole ideas. Oh. Due to poor wireless connection, your video has been paused. Consider moving to find a better signal. What are you talking about? We've got a great signal here. So I'm going to keep talking as though you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. I'm hoping that you can. Let me know what's going on. So Giuseppe, you might want to check this because we are having trouble with the internet. But I'm going to keep talking. You can hear me. Okay, good. We're going to keep talking. So one of the reasons that women wear bras is because just movement alone can be painful. When does that happen? Thank you. You're letting me know. Good. When does that happen? It's more often happens, of course, before the menstrual cycle, just before or during the first day or so of the menstrual cycle. We're still saying it's trying to reconnect, isn't that? Due to wireless connection, poor wireless connection, your video has been paused. Consider moving to find a bed. I'm not moving. They're not going to make me move. All right. Well, you said you can hear me. Yes, Nancy Roth, Roos Talks. Yes, Sally Stewart, Roos Talks. You bet it. You bet. Elaine Whalen, Roos Talks. You bet. Yes, Ashley, Roos Talks. Yes, Lisa Hendricks, Roos Talks. Yes, Donna. Yes, Jackie, Roos Talk, you're all getting it right. So Roos Talks is the medicine we use on first movement. It's painful, and as we limber up, it feels better. It may not be gone completely, but there's improvement. Bryonia is different than that. Bryonia is just pain from any movement, just turning over. If someone's got a really bad flu, bad cold, and their head is pounding, and they just don't even want to look, they don't want to turn over, just the thought of moving over can cause lots of pain and broken bone, as I said. But also breasts. So when breasts are painful, pretty much regardless of the cause. I mean, if there's an infection, that's a different situation. But if they're painful because of an injury, we would use something else. We might use Bellis Puranis, and then we would use bryonia. But if they're painful because that's what happens to this woman before her period, and then, or just as it comes on, or anytime, it could be during ovulation. Generally speaking, it's before the menses. Then we know bryonia is the medicine. Now, some women only have it occasionally, maybe every third menstrual cycle. Some women have kind of pain all the time, low level, but when the menstrual cycle starts building up towards the actual flow, that's when the pain gets worse. In the situation when it only happens occasionally, I would look at that as an acute, meaning we use bryonia. I would use it in a 30, and I'll tell you why in a minute, twice daily, or even 3 times a day for a couple of days during that time. I don't know that I would use it prophylactically necessarily. I would wait till it starts to happen and then start. But if it's something that's low level, like I just described, and then it grows in discomfort and becomes more painful as the menses gets closer, that's when I would use bryonia 30 twice a day, every day, every day. Because it's a chronic condition. It happens every period. It lasts too long, perhaps. It's low level most of the time and then grows larger. That is, I would call that a chronic condition. And so when we look at chronic conditions, we often use the medicines over a period of many days, weeks, perhaps even a few months. Now, why bryonia 30? Why not 200? Why not a bryonia 6? Why not bryonia 1M? Is it that frustrating? When you were learning, if you were one of those who was studied classical homeopathy, you'd repertorize, you'd go through your repertory looking for pain, painful breasts, or pain when the breasts move, or pain when anything moves for that matter. And you would see bryonia plus a lot of other medicines. If you were lucky enough or smart enough or experienced enough to determine that, yes, indeed, bryonia was a good choice, now you had to determine what potency. That's called posology, the study of posology. Now that you know the medicine, what potency? So what is it? A 3, a 6, a 30, 200? Is it X or C? Is it 1M? Is it 10M? Is it LM? Is it LM1 followed by LM2 followed by LM3? And then how frequently? Once a week? Once every 6 weeks? Once every 3 days? That's what I take the mystery out of. By teaching you folks practical homeopathy, I take that all out. And instead, I train you with a formula. If there are painful breasts, we use bryonia 30 twice a day. How do I know this? Because the Banerjees taught me this. Because I observed it. They didn't actually say it to me. I observed it. I saw it time and again. And over a period of 2 months, generally speaking, we see most women who have that kind of pain, it backs off. So instead of being a screaming 8 on a scale of 0 to 10, now the pain, next time I meet with them or next time they report, it's now a 3. That's acceptable. I mean, I don't think that getting a pain of 3 for a couple of hours or a day or 2 days before the menses is noteworthy. It's small enough that we can say, okay, let's move on. Let's go on to something else. Let's fix the acne. Let's fix the anxiety. Let's work on the insomnia. It doesn't mean we can't work on all of them simultaneously, but we don't want to overdo what we're covering. We want to focus in on as tight a situation as we possibly can. So let's see what else bryonia covers. This is not uncommon. Let's see. Oh, breathing. That's what I want to talk about. Bryonia, even though I wanted to enter this with the painful breasts because it's such a common condition, another Banerjee protocol that I love is aconitum 200 with bryonia 200, or aconitum 200 with bryonia 30. I've seen them do it both ways. I believe that on their site they use it bryonia 30. I'm pretty sure. I've used it both ways. I've seen them use it both ways. I've had great results with it. And why is that? Aconitum is for a cold that's coming on. We mix it in a 200, or we buy it in a 200, and then we use the bryonia. And bryonia is for that worse for movement. So someone starts coughing. It's a cold. They cough and they start coughing and they can't stop coughing. That can be often bryonia. So it's a great cough medicine. Bryonia individual resents being questioned or engaged in conversation and can become irritable and sadly quickly. And mostly it's because if they're in a really extreme bryonia state, they will have a hard time speaking because that's movement. They don't want to move. So They feel they want to go home even though they might already be home. It's an interesting one. I've actually used this for my mother who has late stage Alzheimer's, and every once in a while, she used to say it more frequently, but she used to say, I want to go home. Now, if she only says it once in a while, I'm not going to bother with it. But if she says it time and again, it leads me to believe that there's an angst that needs to be addressed. There's something deeper, and it's a picture that I want to relieve her of. You know, I want to give you this picture, this tableau vivant of what bryonia can encompass. And I'm only going to give you a little sprinkling. I hope that you are going to read more, particularly if it resonates with you. If it seems like something you really would like to know more about, particularly because you have someone in the family, let's say you have 4 girls and they have breast pain before their menses, or you have a member of the family gets colds and coughs easily, you want to know about this. So let's see what else we can put in here. The skin of bryonias can often dry. These are the symptoms that I've written in my book. Additionally, bryonia 30 mixed with aconitum. Okay, here we go. When it's a cold or a flu or something like that, or a cough, then we use bryonia in that with mixed with aconitum, and we might use it every 6 hours. And the same thing if the breast pain is very painful, we might also use it every 6 hours. If it's not so bad, then use it twice daily. So let's see if we've got some questions here. There was a glitch. Okay, you can hear and see me. Thank you. Nope, I'm not paused. Thank you very much. Let's see. Yeah, Rus or arnica. Arnica is not really worse for movement necessarily. It's not a component of arnica. It's not a keynote, but certainly Rus tox. All is well. Thank you. Good. Hi from Tennessee. That's Debbie. Let's see if we have any questions. Keep your questions, folks, related to tonight, if possible, please. Keep them short, because when I look at them, my eyes glaze over if I see too much. Yes, you're welcome for the information I share. I could have used this so many years ago. I know. I wish I'd started homeopathy when I was 12. It's, I didn't start until I was in my 30s. But it's never too late, truly. It is never too late, folks. If you can treat, now, my husband just went away tonight, this morning, and he'll be gone for a while. My son is here with me, but my husband is, my dog, our dog, Buster, is very, very attached to my husband. Buster was a home birth. We had his mother, and she had 3 puppies, and she actually had them in my office. And at the time, my sons were young. They were children. Now they're all adults. So Buster's getting to be an old dog. And we watched him being born. And when he was born, he wasn't breathing. So my husband got his little cute little body and held him. I think this is interesting for those who who breed. I'm sure if you're breeding dogs, you already know this. And you hold him so that the neck and the body are all one, and you shake hard like that, so it's almost like so that startles them and they catch their first breath. Well, my husband did that to Buster when he was first born because he wasn't breathing, and his mother Dolly was licking him, and it just wasn't doing enough. So my husband said, we got to do something. So we did. And so when Buster came to, his first sniff, his first look was of my husband, and it was imprinted. So Perry, my husband, is my dog's person of choice. So when he goes away, Buster laments. He paces. He hangs out at the door, waiting for the car to come back. And since he's been gone since very early this morning, and he's going to be gone for several days, I think Buster's, he says the jig's up. I get it. I know. I saw that suitcase. So, so I gave him. There are a couple remedies I could give him. Anybody have any ideas? No, for sciatica, bryonia could be used for sciatica. It's not my first choice, but yes, it could be. Yes. Bryonia for bulging disc. Yes. Between 3 and 4, L3 and 4. Yes. You could certainly give that a try. Cough after a cold that is harshly dry and frequent. Can't talk without coughing. Cold drink makes it worse. You bet. That's it. That could easily be it. Could very well be it. All right, movement made it worse. Bryonia really helped this morning, but not completely. Could this person add arnica or hypericum? Yes, if the pain is really severe, hypericum is excellent. Yes. We have other remedies. Look on my blog. Always, whenever you don't know what to do, come up with the name of the condition on your browser and put in the words Joette Calabrese. And I have been writing for so long, I am pretty certain that probably about 75% of the time you're going to find an answer. And then it'll tell you which medicine, what potency, generally speaking, and how frequently. And then if you click on the link, if that's the way I wrote it, because the old blogs were not written that way, if you click on the link, it'll take you to the pharmacy that manufactures it, usually Boron, and sometimes on Amazon. Yes, for Buster, Ignatia. Now, Ignatia. Yes, aconitum for Buster, too. That's certainly a possibility. I often give Buster Ignatia. It is a good medicine for him. But because he was pacing, I don't see him. So he's not pacing anymore. And I gave it to him just before I started on this Facebook Live. And because he was pacing, I switched. Ideas. Ignatia's anxious, but they're not really known for pacing. And I will also add one more little clue as to what brought me to this particular medicine tonight, and that he went to his water bowl, took a little lick, walked to the front door, walked past the water bowl, walked over to my desk, then walked to the back door, then the front door, then back again, took a lick from his bowl. Yep, aconitum is also, yeah, it's very good for him. Buster also has, let's see, joint pain. Arsenicum, if he's pacing. Thank you very much, Kathy. That's exactly what I gave him. I gave him Arsenicum album 200C, and he's calm. And it's the first time he's been calm for several hours. And the reason that I didn't give it to him earlier is because I've had case after case after case all day long. I went to a funeral today, and I've been rushing, and I really hadn't noticed it much, to be honest. My son noticed it and said, "Hey, Mom, let's give something to the poodle." I call him the poodle. All right, let's see if we've got some more questions. For back and joint pains, yes, thank you very much. That must be Nathalie. Her real name is Natalie, but I always kid her because I think it's so lovely that the H is in there and it's silent. I love silent letters. They kind of throw everybody off, makes you think a little bit more, like, you know, pneumonia. What happened to that P? Arsenicum, yes, Nancy, absolutely. Did you see this? Okay, arsenicum for Buster. Oh, gelsemium. Okay, great. I think we've got it. I think we've got pretty much a wrap up. And so I was thinking in bed last night, what has homeopathy done for me besides the practical stuff that I've kept my kids out of doctors' offices, kept myself out of doctors' offices pretty much. I've saved a lot of money. It's very gratifying. I have a community of people that's kind of like this foreign language that we all understand. It's so much fun. And for those who don't understand, I welcome them in to the sorority of homeopathy users. But it feels like it's a sword for me and a shield. I feel protected. I don't have the angst that I used to have. I used to freak with my first son in the beginning before I really had enough confidence to know that homeopathy, yes, you bet, that homeopathy could help, or that there was a medicine for really pretty much every condition. Will it cure everything? No, it will not cure everything. It will not cure absolutely every situation. But it gives us such relief, and just the relief from the anxiety alone, but it cures a lot of conditions. And as Dr. Prasanta Banerjee said to me several times, homeopathy has been known to cure all human conditions. Every single one of them has been known to be cured by homeopathy. But not every person who has that condition can be cured. So there are situations in which someone may not be cured. If we have a young boy who has psoriasis, for example, can that be cured with homeopathy? You bet. But it takes a long time. Psoriasis can take a year, 2 years to completely resolve. I mean, we see improvement over a period of weeks and months. But if it's a 92-year-old man and he has psoriasis and he's thrown a lot of steroids have been thrown at it. I wouldn't say that he's done it, but a lot of steroids have been thrown at it. And he's on blood pressure meds and he's on statin drugs and he's on this and he's on that. Are we going to be able to get that psoriasis under control? Maybe not. But then again, maybe. Isn't it worth a try? So it's my shield, it's my sword, and it's also my torch, because I want this to go out. I say this every Monday night. Pass this along, ladies and gents. This can change the world. Think of what this could do. Think of how it can help so many people without expensive drugs, without the side effects, without the polyester drugs that are out there. And again, I will say there are times when we do need conventional drugs. But if we have something that's an alternative that costs a fraction of the cost, $8 for this, and it can cure, this is Chelidonium magis, can cure fatty liver. I've seen it cure fatty liver. I've seen it cure elevated liver enzymes. I've seen it. I don't actually see the liver. I see the tests afterwards. I see the results of the tests. So not overnight. Most of these chronic conditions are not overnight. When it comes to chronic, it can take quite a while. And I want to train you up. So join a study group. If you're already in one, consider strongly taking my courses. That is where you're going to be trained up. That's where the more complex cases come in, the more complex situations. What do we do after this? How do I know where to go from here? How do I know should I stay with this potency? What if this potency seems too strong? How do I deal with it? That's what the courses include. So if you're so inclined, join them. If you're not and you want to keep this absolutely free, that's fine with me too. So with that, I say God bless to all of you. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for passing this along. It's great to see all your names and the snapshots of your faces. Good night, folks. God bless.